What is going on, everybody? In this video, I'm going to be going through my 12-team playoff predictions heading into conference championship week. I'm going to give my prediction for who gets every seeding in the bracket, and I am also going to predict every single game in the bracket and give my prediction for who will win the 2025 national championship. So let's start off with going through the teams that I have in this playoff field. And as the 1 seed and the Big Ten championship winner, I have the Oregon Ducks. I think they will beat Penn State this week and finish 13-0, and they are the only undefeated team in college football right now. I don't see them losing to Penn State. As the 2 seed, I have the Georgia Bulldogs. I think they are going to beat Texas twice, and I think they will win the SEC this weekend. The game will be played in Atlanta, Georgia in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and I think Georgia will be ready and prepared for this game. I think they have the advantage, and I like them to win the SEC. As my 3 seed, I have SMU. I think they will win the ACC. I think they are the better all-around team than Clemson. And I also think Kevin Jennings is a very underrated quarterback, so give me SMU for the 3 seed. At the 4 seed, I have Boise State. I think they beat UNLV in the Mountain West Championship. I think Ashton Jeanty can do enough to get them the win in this game. Last time they played UNLV, it was a close game. It will probably be another close game, but I think Boise State is the better team. And I like Boise State to win the Mountain West Championship and finish 12-1 and make the college football playoffs. As my 5 seed, I have Notre Dame. I think they will jump above the loser of the SEC Championship game and the loser of the Big Ten Championship game. I know the playoff committee said that they aren't going to punish the losers of the conference championship games that much, but I also don't see Texas and Penn State not dropping at all. I think Notre Dame will jump them. And right now, I think Notre Dame is one of the better teams in the country, so give me Notre Dame as the 5 seed. And as the 6 seed, I have Texas. I think they will lose their second game to Georgia on the season, losing in the SEC Championship game. But I do think they won't drop much, and I still have them as the 6 seed. As the 7 seed, I have Penn State. I do have them ahead of Ohio State, despite them losing to the Buckeyes, because I don't see Penn State dropping a whole bunch because they did make the Big Ten Championship game, something Ohio State did not do. And both of Penn State's losses come to top 3 teams. And if Penn State loses to Oregon and it's a close game, that will be another quality loss for Penn State. So give me Penn State as the 7 seed. And as the 8 seed, I have Ohio State. Right now, they are ranked ahead of Tennessee, and I don't see them moving anywhere. So give me Ohio State as the 8 seed. And as the 9 seed, I have Tennessee. I think they stay right behind Ohio State in the rankings, and I think Tennessee will get the 9 seed. And as the 10 seed, I have Indiana. Again, nothing much changing there. Indiana should be in the college football playoffs. They are basically a lock, and give me Indiana as the 10 seed. They don't play this weekend. And for the last team, it's likely going to be Alabama unless Clemson beats SMU. If Clemson beats SMU, that's going to be an interesting conversation because SMU could possibly sneak their way in, and Alabama could get left out in that scenario. But I do think SMU will beat Clemson and get one of the top 4 seeds. But that leaves the door open for Alabama to be the 11 seed. And as the 12 seed and the last conference championship winner, I have Arizona State. I think they win the Big 12 and get the 12 seed. Cam Scatterbo is one of the best running backs in the nation. Let's move on to predicting every single game in this bracket. But let's start off in the first round with the home playoff games. That's probably the thing I am most excited about for this college football playoff is the fact that we will have on-campus home site playoff games. Now let's start off with the first game. We have the 5 seed Notre Dame playing the 12 seed Arizona State. Arizona State has had a great season, but I do think Notre Dame is the better team, and I think Notre Dame's defense will be too much for Arizona State. Notre Dame has the largest margin of victory in the country right now. I do think they could be a sneaky team in the college football playoffs. I like Notre Dame to beat Arizona State. The next game is the 6 seed Texas playing the 11 seed Alabama. This would be a very interesting game. Which Alabama team shows up in this game? If Alabama is playing their best football in the postseason and Jalen Milroe can be consistent, they could be a dangerous team. But I do think there's going to be too much on the shoulders of Jalen Milroe in this game. Texas has one of the top defenses in the nation, and I don't think Alabama will be able to walk all over that Texas defense. I think Texas is the better all-around team. I think they beat Alabama. I wouldn't be surprised if they won this game by multiple possessions. The next game is the 7 seed Penn State playing the 10 seed Indiana. Penn State has struggled to win the big games. I don't see them beating Oregon, but I think they can win this game against an Indiana team that isn't that talented, and Penn State also has this game at home. Indiana is a well-coached football team, but they aren't great at the line of scrimmage. I think Penn State has the advantage and the edge over Indiana, so give me Penn State to beat Indiana. And lastly, probably the most exciting game in the first round of the college football playoffs. We have the 8 seed Ohio State hosting number 9 Tennessee. This is probably going to be a low-scoring slugfest of two of the top defenses in the nation, but I am expecting Ohio State to bounce back big after that embarrassing loss to Michigan. I think they have too much experience and they do have this game at home, and I don't trust Nico Iamaleava on the road in this big stage against a very good Ohio State defense. As long as the coaching staff has a decent game plan ready for this game, Ohio State should win this game pretty easily. So give me the Buckeyes over the Volunteers. And now we move on to the quarterfinals. Oregon and Ohio State avoided each other in the Big Ten championship game, but they are likely going to play in the quarterfinals of the college football playoffs with the way they are ranked in the college football playoff committee right now. It's very likely that we see Oregon playing Ohio State in the second round. So we are going to see one of the top national title contenders out of the playoffs pretty early. Look, Ohio State is going to be looking for revenge in this game, but I think Oregon is the better all-around team. Last time Oregon played Ohio State, they had some miscues, but I think Oregon is playing their best football right now. I think they are the most complete team in the country. And I'm taking Dillon Gabriel over Will Howard. I think Oregon can beat Ohio State again. The next game is the 2 seed Georgia playing the 7 seed Penn State. Penn State has had a great run up to this point, but I think at this point in the season, the Georgia Bulldogs will be playing their best football, and Kirby Smart will have his team ready to play. And I don't think Penn State has the talent to match up with Georgia. I think Penn State loses another game to one of the top teams in the nation, so give me Georgia to beat Penn State. The next game is the 3 seed SMU playing the 6 seed Texas. SMU has had a great run up to this point. They have one of the top scoring offenses in the nation, but I like Texas to win this game. Texas defense will be too much for SMU, and I think at this point in the season, the offense will be more consistent. And don't be surprised to see Arch Manning playing a lot more in the college football playoffs. But regardless, Texas is the better team. They are more ahead of SMU, so give me Texas to beat SMU. The next game is the 4 seed Boise State playing the 5 seed Notre Dame. Again, the 5 seed is going to have an easy path, probably to the semifinals. Notre Dame is going to beat Boise State. Ashton Jeanty will not be able to walk all over that Notre Dame defense like he has other defenses. The Boise State offense is too one-dimensional, and Notre Dame just has the better all-around talent. We saw what happened when Notre Dame played Army and Navy. I do think Boise State is better than Army and Navy, but Notre Dame will beat Boise State, and it probably will not be that close. Everybody wants to bring up that NIU loss, but that was way earlier in the season. Notre Dame hasn't slipped up at all since then, and they've been playing their best football, and Riley Leonard has stepped up. So give me Notre Dame to beat Boise State by multiple possessions. And now we move on to the semifinals. We have the 1 seed Oregon playing the 5 seed Notre Dame. These have been two of the most dominant teams in the nation. But Notre Dame does not have their best cornerback in Benjamin Morrison because he is out for the season. Notre Dame's secondary was a little bit weak against USC, and Oregon has the perimeter talent to torch Notre Dame. I think it will be a physical battle up front, but Oregon has the better perimeter talent, and I don't really trust that Notre Dame secondary without their best cornerback to match up with those Oregon receivers. So give me Oregon to beat Notre Dame and move on to the national championship game. And here we have it. We have a third matchup between Georgia and Texas. The 2 seed Georgia playing the 6 seed Texas. Georgia won the first two matchups, but I don't see Georgia beating Texas 3 times. I think Texas finally gets it done and beats Georgia. Maybe that means playing Arch Manning more. I really don't know. Maybe Quinn Ewers steps up. But I think Steve Sarkisian will have his team ready to play. He's getting more used to the big stages, and I think Texas will get a massive win over Georgia. So it could be Texas to beat Georgia and move on to the national championship game. And lastly, we have the 1 seed Oregon playing the 6 seed Texas in the 2025 national championship. Look, I think Oregon is the better all-around team as long as they stay healthy. Oregon has been the most consistent team in the country, and I'm going to continue to roll with them to win the Natty. So give me Oregon over Texas. So my prediction to win the 2025 national championship is the Oregon Ducks. But anyways, you guys let me know what you think about my bracket down in the comments below. But let me remind you guys to like the video and also subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And if you guys love college football, then you'll love this channel. because we upload a ton of college football content, and we basically cover everything on this channel, so definitely consider subscribing. And also consider checking out my socials down in the description below. But that is going to do it, guys, and peace out.